know, babes, don't you think the radio is so boring these days?
Well, it depends on what you need. I just discovered a new sound.
Making you fall like that.
Yes, I am totally hooked to 98.3 Mainland FM. That sound slaps and it makes so much sense. I vibe, I learn, and I definitely enjoy the groove.
The sound of Lagos.
Fantastic conversations.
Great to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that?
Yeah, I love weather. Trending music.
I live the life that I love. I love the life that I live. Tomorrow.
Traffic updates.
Ojoba and Charity intersections is good. There's no cause for alarm.
Sports. And everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch that dial.
Oh yes! He's done it! That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise, only on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. From hot transfer gist to Champions League drama, from Nigeria football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger. No boring breakdowns, just pure energy, passion, and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran. Open mouth or.
Hello there, your number one sports show on radio, Sports Cruise, from 6 to 7 p.m. every weekday, only on 98.3 Mainland FM. Sports Cruise, 6 p.m. weekdays on 98.3 Mainland FM. The cruise never stops.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give me reason, take me higher.
Lewis Skelly in his preferred midfield role. Great opportunity! Oh, what a start, Calafiori! The champions get a grip on it inside 25 seconds. Foden, shooting opportunity. And White's on hand. Dwyer made the save. And there is Haaland. And Raya is there again. Free kick given, I think. Odegaard's ball in. And Havertz is there. It's two. Donnarumma, I think, should do a lot better with this one as well. Kusanov went to sleep at the far post. Didn't read the situation, got his body position all wrong. And Semenyo. Oh, and Doku can't hit the target. Ben White in close attendance. Just got a hit to it in the end. Solis. Havertz again. Oh, and Donnarumma could be in trouble here. Odegaard! Team have been comprehensively outdone, really. Yeah. Solis. Oh, and Odegaard seizing upon it! Clear daylight for the champions in every sense here. The curtain falls on the curtain raiser, and the champions are class apart. The champions claim another prize. Arsenal, winners of the 2026 Community Shield, and emphatic winners here today against Manchester City.
It's the first of many battles you're going to have with Manchester City this season. Was this an opportunity just to lay down an early marker this season?
I mean, yeah, for everyone to see our level. I think we showed our level today. I think we showed that we're ready. I think we showed that we're serious, we want to do it again. And there's more trophies to go for, and that's the aim. So, yeah, we're well prepared and we're looking forward to the next one now.
What is that mindset for you as Premier League champions coming into this season and trying to defend that title like? How different is it?
No, we're going to attack it. We want to do it again. This was an unbelievable achievement and experience for all of us. And when you get the taste of how nice it is, you want to do it again. And there's also a few other ones we want to take, So, yeah, we're ready, and I think we showed that today.
You mean the Champions League, right?
Of course. I think at this club you want to win all of them. But of course, that's a big one. And but to be fair, we want to win everything, and that's the mindset. So, yeah, let's look for Friday now, and hopefully get a good start in the league.
Well, congratulations, a victory today, silverware, and you're also the player of the match today as well. So well done.
Thank you.
Enzo Maresca enjoyed an admirable first competitive match in charge of Manchester City versus Arsenal, as the score predicted that it was a one-sided affair in the Community Shield on Sunday, as it ended 3-0 in favour of the defending Premier League champions. English soccer annual season curtain raiser between the reigning Premier League champions Arsenal and the FA Cup winner Manchester City offered a chance for an early assessment of the two teams most likely to challenge for the big trophies this season. While Arsenal delivered a statement performance, not least by scoring after 23 seconds through Ricardo Calafiori at Cardiff Principality Stadium, there might be some early concerns for City and Maresca at the start of the post-Pep Guardiola era. While Arsenal, Kai Havertz headed home the second goal in the 28th minute through the grabs of City goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma, and Martin Odegaard ran unchallenged into City's area before sitting down at Donnarumma with an outrageous dummy and slotting the finish into the unguarded net in the 48th minute. A playful chant of "You are getting sacked" in the morning from Arsenal fans jubilating supporters towards Maresca as part of the game in which City rarely threatened the opposition goalkeeper and World Cup winner David Raya. Ireland only just back in training after the World Cup was substituted in the 53rd minute of the game after having such just 7 touches in the entire 53 minutes he was on the pitch. It was a perfect preparation for Arsenal ahead of the beginning of the Premier League title defense at home to Premier League New Boys Convention Friday. I think we showed our level today, that we are ready. Talking about Martin Odegaard, I'm sure you heard the soundbite as well, and he was also voted as the player of the match. Outstanding performance from the Arsenal captain. City launches its league campaign 2 days later at home to Bournemouth, and remains to be seen if Maresca reacts to the defeat by changing his team around the game's build-up. Welcome to Sports Cruise on Milan 98.3 FM, the Monday edition, the first of the show for the week. And what a weekend we had, especially in the world of football, as Cameroon, a team that was brought in by CAF just to complete the teams, ended up winning their first ever Women African Cup of Nations after defeating another new entrant and debutant, Malawi, by 3-0 in a one-sided final right there in Morocco. We'll also talk about all of those. The same scoreline on both finals, actually, considering if you put the Community Shield in one of same. Well, for us now, it's the start of maybe a title defense that could be one for the ages. They've not won the Premier League title in 22 seasons until they did the last time out after finishing second 3 times consecutively. But now, it's a new era in the Premier League. New clubs, new managers, new players. From Chelsea having a new manager to Manchester United finally confirming Michael Carrick as the permanent manager to Liverpool having Anthony Raola, to Tottenham Hotspur, to Newcastle, almost everyone, even to Crystal Palace. Everyone seems to be coming into the English Premier League with a new managers, and it could be a struggle. We saw Maresca, former Chelsea manager, struggle to get a grip of the game yesterday as Arsenal ran riot 3-0. 3 goals in the space of 48 minutes of the game, and it was done and dusted. We'll look into all of those analysis today as the English Premier League officially begins this Friday night fixture at the Emirates Stadium Stadium between the defending champions of the Premier League, Arsenal, of course. Our new boys at Premier League are coached by former Chelsea legend and Chelsea manager Frank Lampard. But we have bills to pay. When we come back, I will look into everything that happened on both finals yesterday. The Women African Cup of Nations, the intermediate Lioness of Morocco defeated their Malawian counterpart by 3-0 as Arsenal also won the curtain raiser. This is the third Community Shield that Mikel Arteta has won alongside an FA Cup and of course the English Premier League. What does this say about the preparation of Arsenal for the Premier League season? Find out all of this and more when we come back from this break. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell me that I am a sport administrator by accident. Listen every day of the weekday to Sports Cruise on Mainland FM. God bless you.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM. The sound of Lagos.
OneX Cup is here. Grassroots football, real passion. Join us and get prizes. Final match October 31st at Kappa Oshodi Stadium, Lagos. Visit onexcup.ng. Your community, your cup. 18+. Bet responsibly.
Let me tell you about a young man named Bolu. Companies call him when they have problems they can't solve. He's a software developer. He leads a team and mentors young developers. But if you had met him 7 years ago, you probably wouldn't have believed any of this, because there was a time Bolu almost didn't write his WAEC exams. Let's rewind back a little bit. 2 weeks before the examination, Bolu was on the football field playing with his friends because he simply believed there was no point studying for an examination he wasn't going to write. His parents couldn't afford the registration fee. Every evening, his mother would say, "Let's just keep praying. Something will happen." One Monday morning, during assembly, the principal picked up the microphone and said,
"Every SS3 student in this school, your WAEC has been paid for."
For Bolu and his family, this changed everything. Now, imagine that same conversation in thousands of homes across Lagos State. Since 2019, Lagos State has invested over 7.1 billion naira to pay WAEC fees for students in public secondary schools. Not long after, Bolu became one of the 18,912 students to receive a mobile learning device from the Lagos State government. Through the ഃ initiative, over 450,000 pupils gained access to e-learning devices, while more than 18,000 teachers were trained to teach using digital technology. These days, Bolu barely recognizes his old school. Across Lagos, 150 classroom blocks and 1,386 bed hostels now stand across the 6 education districts. When government invests in education, it doesn't just build schools, it builds futures.
Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu,
giving Lagos a brighter future.
Chai, my head oh. Oga landlord, why you dey shake like ceiling fan? My village people don't come again oh. This one with your body hot so, you don't do test? Yes, see result oh. Oga landlord, no be your village people oh. Na malaria, you need Luta. Luta na better medicine wey dey knack down malaria. Oya see am, take am. Thank you Oga Luta. I don't dey kampe.
Luta, brand of Artemata and Lumefantrine, is another quality product from Hovid, marketed by Pharmatex Nigeria Limited. If symptoms persist after 3 days, see your doctor.
Everybody say thanks, Luta. Malaria's in big trouble. Let us move.
My sisters used to call me Agbaletkoma. Me, I was the undisputed champion. I calculated traffic like a maths professor. If I go by 4 a.m., how many hours? As a makeup artist, it's wild. To get to an event, I'll calculate traffic. To hang out at grandma's, I'll calculate traffic. To pick my sister from school, I'm calculating traffic. And to top it off, I'll still arrive late because traffic. I I needed a way to survive these hours of traffic because in Lagos, you never back down. Instead, you move differently. What did I do? I did the same thing you did. I hopped on the fastest way to get me everywhere, the Lagos Blue or Red Rail Line. Because tell me why I should be doing bus bus in traffic for 45 minutes when I can get from Mile 2 to Marina in 10 minutes if I'm on the Lagos Blue Rail Line. Even the other day, when I had an Owambe event in Ikorodu and then Ikoyi on the same day, my staff kept saying it was impossible until I showed them my latest link up. We planted ourselves gidigba inside Lag Ferry. Then on those days when I have to get to Ojota to visit Granny and hang out with my sisters, I link up through the Okwebi-Mende link bridge and cut straight through Mende, landing right on Ojota doorstep without hitting a single bottleneck. Because the roads are smooth. And the best part, Lagos isn't done yet. The blue line is going to stretch from Mile 2 to Okokomaiko. And then the Lagos-Badagry Expressway is getting wider roads too, dedicated BRT lanes and a central rail corridor. You see Lagos, no be like before.
Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, leaving a lasting legacy.
Is your business ready for the spotlight? Whether you're a small business owner, an entrepreneur, or a corporate brand, visibility is everything, and that's where Mainland 98.3 FM comes in. With a growing audience of loyal listeners, engaging programming, and affordable advertising rates.
Are you serious?
From radio commercials and sponsorships to live mentions and tailored promotional campaigns, we'll help you work to create a package that fits your budget and delivers real value. Let's put your brand on the airwaves and into the heart of thousands of listeners. Visit us today at Mainland 98.3 FM or call our marketing team on 0708 040 6591 or call 0816 509 4080.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
1X Cup is here. The grassroots football tournament by 1xBet brings together local teams, real passion, and the spirit of the community. The final match takes place on October 31st at Kapa Oshodi Stadium, Lagos. Join us and get prizes. Visit 1xcup.ng to see full details about the tournament. Your community, your cup. 18 plus. Bet responsibly.
Let me tell you about a young man named Bolu. Companies call him when they have problems they can't solve. He's a software developer. He leads a team and mentors young developers. But if you had met him 7 years ago, you probably wouldn't have believed any of this, because there was a time Bolu almost didn't write his WAEC exams. Let's rewind back a little bit. 2 weeks before the examination, Bolu was on the football field playing with his friends because he simply believed there was no point studying for an examination he wasn't going to write. His parents couldn't afford the registration fee. Every evening, his mother would say, let's just keep praying. Something will happen. One Monday morning, during assembly, the principal picked up the microphone and said,
Every SS3 student in this school, your wife has been paid for.
For Bolu and his family, this changed everything. Now, imagine that same conversation in thousands of homes across Lagos State. Since 2019, Lagos State has invested over 7.1 billion naira to pay WAEC fees for students in public secondary schools. Not long after, Bolu became one of the 18,912 students to receive a mobile learning device from the Lagos State government. Through the @GoExcel initiative, over 450,000 pupils gained access to e-learning devices, while more than 18,000 teachers were trained to teach using digital technology. These days, Bolu barely recognizes his old school. Across Lagos, 150 classroom blocks and 1,386 bed hostels now stand across the 6 education districts. When government invests in education, it doesn't just build schools, it builds futures.
Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu,
giving Lagos a brighter future.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom are about to cut the cake.
It's about to go down.
Wait!
My love, wetin happen?
Before I marry you, the TV where you promise, the fridge nko, where e dey? Washing machine nko, will I be using my hands to wash clothes in 2026?
Cancel this wedding. Relax, everybody. Who said I must buy everything once? I use CDK. CDK? Yes, so I dey pay small. Fridge, washing machine, even solar system. Na CDK.
So all those things don't already dey house?
Abba, since last month.
Pastor, continue the wedding.
Walk God up, join together. Why stress yourself? Get phones, TVs, solar appliances, furniture, and more on CDK. Pay small. Zero interest, normal market price. Download CDK today. Telephone 0707 454 3005.
CDK, pay small, live big.
Oh, yes! He done it! That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise, only on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. From hot transfer gist to Champions League drama, from Nigeria football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
On your marks, get set.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection.
No long talk. This is where sports meets swagger.
The buckle of my machine, can you control my soul? Oh baby, set me on fire, girl I'm losing control. Girl, you the buckle of my machine, can you control my soul? Oh baby, set me on fire, girl I'm losing control. I want you worry, where my baby, you worry, where my lover. Take my pin and spend as you like, oh. Take my pin and spend as you like, oh. As you love me, I go love you. As you do for me, I go do for you. Papi, you know when I might delay. Oh no. See, now for darkness, I know now you be light. And I thank God to say I realize. Now for this your love, girl, I energize. Oh, girl, I no go lie, you call me Soko. That's why I follow. That thing with the Soko, I get down for my Shokoto. Yeah, you the buckle of my machine. Yeah, you control my soul. Oh, baby, set me on fire. Girl, I'm losing control. Yeah, you the buckle of my machine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Manchester City lost absolute control yesterday at the Cardiff Municipal Stadium at the makeshift venue for the curtain raiser for the English Premier League 2026-2027 season. Of course, there was an event on Saturday at the Wembley Stadium, and so they had to move the Community Shield to the Cardiff City Stadium right there in Wales, where Arsenal thrashed Manchester City 3-0 to set the tone for maybe what to expect ahead of the 2026-2027 season, where they will be defending their Premier League title. Let's listen again to the captain of the side. I was also adjudged as the player of the match, talking about Martin Odegaard.
Many battles you're going to have with Manchester City this season. Was this an opportunity just to lay down an early marker this season?
I mean, yeah, for everyone to see our level. I think we showed our level today. I think we showed that we're ready. I think we showed that we're serious. We want to do it again. And there's more trophies to go for, and that's the aim. So, yeah, we're well prepared, and we're looking forward to the next one now.
What is that mindset for you as Premier League champions coming into this season and trying to defend that title like? How different is it?
No, we're going to attack it. We want to do it again. This was an unbelievable, achievement and experience for all of us. And when you get the taste of how nice it is, you want to do it again. And there's also a few other ones we want to take, So, yeah, we're ready, and I think we showed that today.
You mean the Champions League, right?
Of course. I think at this club you want to win all of them. But of course, that's the big one. And but to be fair, we want to win everything, and that's the mindset. So, yeah, let's look for Friday now, and hopefully get a good start in the league.
Congratulations.
Okay, you heard Martin Odegaard saying that when you feel it once, you want to have a taste of it again. Talking about how committed they are going into the 2026-2027 English Premier League season. I've also watched a couple of interviews from Mikel Arteta saying that their target this season is to go for every single trophy available. They lost the final of the Carabao Cup the last time out. They got knocked out by Southampton in the semi-final of the FA Cup. They won the Premier League. They lost the final of the FA Champions League, their first final since 2006, when they lost right there in Paris 2-1 by Barcelona. But hey, let me bring up the guys. Agbatoni, I mean, looking really dapper today, by the way. There's also Ayok. I mean, it was a major compliment for us to have Ayok the entire week, the entire days last week, and again we're back, so we're making it double on the double for the stretch. Ayok, good to have you join us on the show today.
Yeah, thank you very much. We had an exciting weekend of football actually. The Community Shield didn't disappoint.
Okay, the Community Shield didn't disappoint. We're going to come to that real quick. Probably that will form the crux of the conversations that would also look into the teams, the pretenders, the contenders, the challengers for the Premier League title this season. Agbatoni, it was a game that was expected to. So I saw a compilation of about 20 analysts, and that predicted what the outcome of the result was going to be like. I think Alan Shearer, Ian Wright, Gary Neville and Thierry Henry, those were the only 4 people that predicted that Arsenal was going to win the game. Everybody else gave it to Manchester City, Michael Richards. Okay, I think what's his name now, Michael Carragher.
Yeah,
Jimmy Carragher also gave it to Arsenal. For Michael Owen, the other guys predicted Manchester City 4-1, 3-0, 2-1. Agbatami, we saw it yesterday. 23 seconds into the game, one of the best passes you probably see from a defender. Talking about they call him Martins Kellewu. That's what Nigerian fans call it. But I mean, that was 2 defenders combining together goal. That yesterday was a game that, yes, you want to think the new manager conversation at Manchester City, 10 years of a trophy, laden seasons for Pep Guardiola, 19 major trophies he won for Manchester City, including the Champions League, 7 Premier League titles, 4 on a bounce. It looks like he's the best manager to ever coach in the Premier League. But Enzo Maresca, mid-season, left Chelsea, was negotiating. At the end of the day, Chelsea had to receive 17 million pounds from Manchester City, for their manager. But yesterday, Agbatomi, how much of a game was that for Manchester City and Arsenal as well?
Well, I think it was a very, very comfortable win for Arsenal, to be honest, as well as also a statement.
It's not what you think, it's what we saw.
Yeah, it's what we saw. And obviously, a lot of people will probably say that Manchester City could have gotten into the game late on, obviously with the chances that presented himself, that was presented rather to the citizens. Of course, we had Phil Foden having an absolute blast of a shot that was kept up by David Raya. There was also one as well that was also kept up by the Raya from what's his name now, the Ghanaian winger Antoine Semenyo, as well as a couple of other shots on target that Manchester City go. But I think it was a pretty straightforward win for Arsenal. It was a statement, from Arsenal as well, sending a statement of intent.
The team in the starting 11 was
statement of intent.
If they play Cardiff today, I'm sure that's probably what they will start with.
Statement of intent, to the rest of the Premier League that, what, guys, at this time around we are champions for the very first time in 22 years, and obviously we know that. Just like Martin Odegaard mentioned, that when you taste something, you obviously want to taste it again.
If it tastes is good.
If it tastes is good. It's just like you have a taste of amala and we do, and then you're like, okay, I think I need to have this continuously. And I think that was exactly.
That's for the people that enjoys that combination.
You don't. Come on, you don't.
I don't.
Even Ayok guys.
I don't.
Oh my God. I don't understand.
I don't. Are you from here at all?
Absolutely.
We need to ask you that question.
I don't.
But I think it was a good game, and so for a lot of people who also don't know, ever since Manchester City won the Community Shield in the 2018-2019 season, all the other teams that have gone on to win the Community Shield, that's a traditional curtain raiser for the new Premier League season, have failed to win the Premier League, right? That could also bring in, when you're talking about using the history to predict the future, future. Now, the billion-dollar question is: can Arsenal be able to consolidate on their Premier League Premier League win last season, as well as also winning the Community Shield, as well as also try much as possible to ensure they are able to push ahead for greater achievement. Now, there's going to be obviously the added motivation, incentive, as well as Cʀᴜɪ紜 mentioned, to maybe again win the Premier League. Then they also fell short in the final against PSG. That was just a couple of months ago. There will be that conversation in the dressing room that, you know what, guys, we've been able to make it to the final of the Champions League. Then it means if you're able to bring it to the
with a couple of additions, we
can also cross the hurdle. They've been able to bring in what's it called now?
Bruno. That should be the best midfielder in the Premier League.
Bruno Guimaraes.
They brought in Zolis that had gotten it. That was 5 goals contribution in 4 matches.
He terrorized the whole Manchester City defense, yesterday.
It looks to me like a better upgrade or a younger version of Trossard if Arsenal had bought him earlier from Brighton.
I agree with that, to be very honest with you. And one thing I was able to also take out from that game yesterday was the fact that David Raya still remains an important cog in Arsenal side.
Of course.
You take out David Raya, and then they start playing like if you take out David Raya out of Arsenal and they become a Chelsea team.
Come on, don't say that.
Yeah, you take David Raya from Arsenal.
What do you mean?
And they become Chelsea.
What do you mean? Arsenal. Come on. Wait. With that defense, with Arsenal's defense.
See, if it were to be Kepa Arrizabalaga that was in goal yesterday for Arsenal, the chance that presented itself to Erling Haaland, to Semenyo, as well as Foden, would have gone in.
Should I ask you a question? Sorry,
please go on.
Should I ask you a question? If we were they were to trade places, Raya and Sanchez. Raya in goal for Chelsea and Sanchez in goal for Arsenal.
Yes.
Do you take
does it make Chelsea better than Arsenal?
You don't understand what I'm talking about.
No, that question is coming from your comment. That if you take Raya from Arsenal,
what I'm trying to say is that if you take Raya from the Arsenal side, they automatically become a more or less average team.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Let me explain something to you about.
So are you saying that Raya is the best player for Arsenal?
I'm not saying Raya is the best player for Arsenal. So he remains an important.
Agbatomi. Hold on. Agbatomi. If I understand you very well, and if you say that if you remove David Raya from Arsenal, they will be like a Chelsea. Arsenal has the best defense in Europe as we speak.
Yes.
They have one of the best midfield in the world as we speak. Especially,
the best defense.
I mean, yes, if you look at that game, you are substituting Bruno Guimaraes for...
But you forget that there's no Saliba in that defense.
The what?
There's no Saliba in that defense.
Yeah, did it look like there was no Saliba?
No, I'm not even talking. Wait, I'm coming. I'm not even talking about this season now. I'm talking about the previous season.
Okay.
If you look at it, they're the best defense in the champion. They consider the fair number of goals.
Yes.
And so you're talking about a Saliba. I mean,
Saliba was present last season
in the final of the Champions League.
Yes.
We had a certain 21-year-old Mosquera, and then we had Saliba, we had Gabriel, and then we had Calafiori somewhere on that side.
On the left flank.
So did you was Haaland even able to get a breath? He had only 7 touches in 53 minutes of that game.
He had 2 shots on target.
I'm coming. If you say that, if you take away Raya from Arsenal's defense, that they'll be like a Chelsea. You're simply saying that Chelsea has defenders that are as average as Arsenal defenders.
No. I'm not talking about the ability of Chelsea now. I'm talking about Chelsea being an average team.
So what makes a team average if not the ability?
No, I'm not talking about Chelsea has a good attack, they have a good midfield. I'm only talking about the size of the club. Or the structure of the club now.
No,
or how big
that does not count here. It doesn't count here.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
In football terms.
In this context,
the structure does not count. It doesn't even matter.
Why do you say so?
The context of this conversation is this. David Raya made outstanding saves yesterday. He was probably one of the most important players for Arsenal last season.
Without those 3 saves.
I'm coming. Against West Ham, he was outstanding. Against Aston Villa, against Tottenham Hotspur, there were moments where Raya defined the logic for Arsenal season last time.
Yeah.
And yesterday, I mean, when I was watching the game, I kept telling the guys that were watching it together that if Raya was in goal against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final, Arsenal would probably not lose that game.
Yes.
If Arsenal was in goal against Southampton in that semi-final of the FA Cup, they probably would not have lost those games.
Yeah.
That's how important it is. But if you're telling me that if you remove Raya from that team, Are you kidding me right now? Do you know what Arsenal has in their back four? Are you comparing it with Chalobah or Tosin Adarabioyo of Chelsea?
The goalkeeper is the last line of defense.
He's the first line of defense. Actually,
there are some chances, or there are some goal-bound attempts or goal-bound attempts that a good goalkeeper should be able to keep out of the goalpost. There are some attempts as well that also bypass the defenders.
There are some attempts again that a goalkeeper has no business
in saving, and then he goes on to save it. Exactly, it is those moments.
So let me ask you a question. Like you mentioned, what makes a team solid?
A team,
yes,
the
entire team,
the
solid.
Team itself.
Is it a player's quality or just have a team of enough players?
No, it's not about having a team of enough players. So we obviously players' quality now.
Good. So the Arsenal players' quality compared to the quality of players at Chelsea.
See,
David Raya make
that
difference?
You don't understand. I'm not talking about the quality of Chelsea players now.
So what are you comparing that David Raya?
The reason I made that comparison is quite simple.
I'm sure you know that this argument you are saying that is a very failed argument. I'm sure you know that this is a failed argument. Oh yeah, go on. Our line today.
And the reason is because you guys don't know where exactly I'm going to.
Oh yeah, go there.
I'm not talking about I never said Chelsea were a good side, and I never compared the attack, defense and midfield of both clubs. I made that statement because of where Chelsea are right now. Chelsea are in a transition season. Everyone knows that. So what I try to say...
What are they transitioning to?
They're in a transition season. A new manager, new players.
Excuse me?
They're in a transition season.
How many new players do Chelsea have? They've kept the crux of their players.
They have new players. This guy can be classified as a new player.
Who?
The Ukrainian.
Mukaila.
Yes.
How does Mukaila appear as a new player?
He hasn't played since 2024.
There's a huge probability that it's not going to stay at Chelsea.
Okay, so guys, I'm coming, guys. So, for context, there's no way that even if Arsenal used what's their new goalkeeper from Leeds,
Messiah.
Yeah. Even if they used Messiah in the back four, they can never be as worse as Chelsea. For context, let me break it down for you. Even if Arsenal uses their goalkeeper trainer to start a game, they can never be as worse as I'm coming.
I think you're overrating Arsenal.
Overrating a club that's come 117 goals last season.
I don't rate Arsenal that highly, in my opinion.
No. Did you see the game yesterday?
I saw the game.
Did you see the game yesterday?
That is a that is a Manchester City.
No,
a Man City that has a new manager.
That's a marker. Let's start.
And Enzo
guys, chill. First off, let's be calm. I know that Mondays always come with their wild energy. So let's be calm. Don't let us make it rowdy.
Yeah.
So for everyone listening at home today, the other voice you're listening to saying that Arsenal is overrated is Agbatomi. He's a Liverpool fan.
Nobody's bringing clubs here now.
Ayok. Wait, the other voice you're hearing right now is the voice of Ayok. So in case you're meeting us for the very first time, we do this we don't always sound this crazy every day, but on a Monday is always bumper pack. So the context of this conversation is this, and I'm going to ask you guys straightforward. Don't let us muddle things up. Ayok, let me start from you.
Okay.
A lot of people looked at yesterday's game as a dress rehearsal for the two of the teams that will compete for the Premier League title. That is a fact.
Yes.
Everyone felt that the Premier League this season, especially with a new manager across 7 teams are having new managers. The first time in the history of the Premier League that 7 different clubs are having new managers. Nine rather. Yes. From Crystal Palace to Newcastle United to Liverpool to Chelsea to Bournemouth. You can even class Manchester United as well as a new manager because they just gave him a permanent job. Enzo Maresca as well. But do you genuinely think Arsenal overrated?
No. I think some people are even downplaying the achievements of Arsenal. If you look at it from last season. See, now let me even put it for you for context here. Players are signing to play for Arsenal to win trophies. Back in the days, players are leaving Arsenal to go and win trophies outside. I can cite many examples. ģeģeļ, the Al-Nassr,
Van Persie.
Now players are signing for Arsenal to win trophies because they have seen where the direction of the team is going over the years. One. Secondly, Arsenal has shown from last season they didn't have this type of squad depth from last season. This season, do you know how crazy it is that when you substitute Rice, you have a
Guimaraes. These are the two top 5 midfielders in the world.
Do you know how crazy it is when Zubimendi
is sitting on the bench. And they have to look for a way to put Eze in the game.
Do you know how crazy it is? You know you have someone that can change a situation of the game like Merino on the bench. Do you know how crazy it is when Saliba comes back and there's already competition? Yesterday, did Arsenal really look like a team that missed Saliba?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Do you know how crazy it is if Fit Odegaard making Donnarumma sit down and smile before he scored?
He smiled before he scored the goal.
Do you know how crazy it is? Do you know how crazy it is, like for Arsenal to let go of a Trossard easily because they know they are getting a storage, and like the Madueke and Saka down there, that they have perfection in every department of the game. And you are saying people are overrating them. They want to, like Odegaard said, once you taste it and it feels good, you want to do it again, and they are not overrated.
Okay, so let me come to you, Agbatomi. Like you said, 9 teams starting a new Premier League season with new managers. I've got new boys. I've got Hull City. I've got Coventry that will be having a baptism of fire. And for the very first time, Arsenal will be defending the Premier League title at the Emirates Stadium. They've never had a season where they'll be regarded as Premier League champions at the Emirates Stadium. That's the first time in over 22 years. Does that yesterday's performance shows that Arsenal are ready to go, or you think, if at all, because it looks like nobody wants to leave right now. Martinelli is literally being pushed out and he's fighting back. I don't want to leave this side. This team is in a good shape. They think they can win more going forward this season. Do Arsenal need to tinker with that side for them to be genuine? So we're not talking about title contenders now. We're talking about building a legacy, because that's what Arteta said, that they want to build a legacy of, going on that run that Man City did. 4 Premier League titles, 6 in 7 seasons, 7 in 9 seasons. Do you think Arsenal are ready to go on that journey?
I think they do, and I think
they're no longer overrated.
No. See, it is quite different. It is quite different when you ask the question of if they are ready to go on that journey.
No, I said a bit for you.
Yeah, I know, and I'm gonna answer it in 2 ways. Taking a look at how the player balance is. I think they have a really good squad depth, just like you mentioned. They have 2 of the best defensive midfielders that I can never find in world football, in Bruno Guimaraes as well as Declan Rice. They also have the likes of Martin Odegaard, Eze, and all of them. In the midfield, there's also Martin Skelly as well, who played a really good defense splitting pass yesterday, and that kind of unlocked the defense of Manchester City. And I think it also gives that same vibe that Manchester City gave. That was in the 2017-2018 season, when they started their very, very long run, right? Having a really good squad there, having a manager who understands the boys, players as well who are very, very hungry, to win the Premier League a couple of times. Well, this time is going to be very, very different. And the reason I say this is because of the fact that Arsenal operates as they operate without putting all of their focus on a particular center on a particular person. There is no stamina in the Arsenal side, right? Everybody's going to pop up with the goals, just like what we witnessed. They don't have a deadly or little striker like the likes back then for Manchester City, Sergio Aguero, or eventually Erling Haaland, or back then in all of those days, the likes of Robin van Persie or Rooney. There's going to be a lot of goals coming up from different sides and different angles for Arsenal. Another reason I feel like this could also be a problem is that psychological disadvantage for Arsenal at this point in time. In the last 22 years, Arsenal has been the chasing team, right? They've been chasing the.
I knew you were going to fall for that. You're struggling to match what you said. We are trying to analyze.
They've been part of the chasing pack, right? But this time around, instead of being
the chaser. They will be the chase.
They've become the haunted.
So do you think there are teams that can actually chase Arsenal genuinely this Premier League season? Now, don't get me wrong. We're not saying it is cast in stones, but if you look at the balance, 40% are predicted that Arsenal win, and the remaining 60% was shared amongst the other 19 teams. So if you say that they will be the chase, it looks like they've got the structure. They've got the manager that is going into his 7th season, the longest serving manager in the Premier League at to speak. And of course, the only manager in all of the 19 teams to have won the Premier League. That's the twist. So do you think there are enough chasing pack that can muzzle or do anything different? Now, I mean, won the Premier League as a player. In fact, Alonso didn't win it in Liverpool, so it's still very correct. Agbatona, I'm still going to stay with you. Do you think any of these teams are genuinely good enough to give Arsenal a chase, like Arsenal did for Man City for 3 consecutive seasons until they won it finally last season?
If I'm going to be very honest with you, I really can't fathom a club that would that could prove to be a really, really big.
But you still think they're overrated?
No, I don't think they're under. I think they're overrated.
I think you still think they're overrated.
Yes, I still think they're overrated.
So it means that the quality of the Premier League is zero. If you say a team is overrated and nobody comes close to them.
If you have a team that is as strong as the likes of maybe PSG or Barcelona in the Premier League right now.
PSG strong in their league.
Obviously, they are defending champions.
In their league,
they are defending champions.
PSG strong. I'm not talking about the champions. I'm talking about the league. PSG strong in their league.
But we know what happens now. That PSG gives the other team a what's it called?
Handicap.
Handicap. You guys just keep on winning, and eventually. Yes, now I mean, take a look at what Lens did. Lens could have won the league last season, and eventually they capitulated. Take a look at what even happened yesterday.
Do you know how many stats?
Yesterday was a one-off game.
Yesterday was a one-off game.
Do you know how many stats that Ousmane Dembele had for PSG last season in the league? 17 stats. Because they were keeping him specifically for the Champions League.
You know what the French League One does? Whenever there is an important game,
they will keep massive. Yes, so that's why I said that. So when you say they are strong in their league, it is because the league is prepared for PSG to thrive.
I didn't say they are strong in their league. I said imagine if a PSG or Barcelona played in the Premier League.
Nothing would have happened.
No, it would have happened.
The French league is not competitive.
No, I'm not talking about the league itself. I'm talking about if the team. Right, if that team plays in the Premier League, is what I'm saying. Now, hold on, Ayo. What I'm trying to say is also the fact that you take a look at that Manchester City side. Under Enzo Maresca, they are not that what's it called? They don't have that big team more anymore.
Let me talk to Osebo. So I said something yesterday when we were watching ball that for the past 4 seasons now. It's not been about I'm playing Man City. It's about I'm playing Pep Guardiola's Man City. So the fear factor was Pep, not exactly because the team was on top quality. Hello, good evening, Osebo.
Good evening, Okpe.
It's been a while.
Good evening. Yeah, it has been a while. Good evening, Agbatomi.
You go sabbatical. You go sabbatical.
No. I did now. I just did a small break.
No be lie.
Sorry, I keep forgetting the last guy's name again.
Ayok.
Agbatomi. Which comparison are you making again? You are between Arsenal and Chelsea.
I don't even tire. I don't tire.
They are saying you are not comparing.
Agbatomi will put me in trouble one day.
Who are you comparing now, guy? How far? How far? But see, to be honest though, I was agreeing with Agbatomi in a bit. But he's not talking about the team and the squad and the club. And I don't even know who we are comparing because the Raya is a very important element. To be very honest, and it shows how good the Spanish team is that he couldn't even take it to become a starter in the Spanish team. If you take David Raya out of I understand what Agbatomi is saying. I ask a very valid question that if you swap both keepers, whether Chelsea will perform better than Arsenal with Raya in Chelsea and Sanchez in Arsenal. But I think again, another thing is the Arsenal defense is actually in fact, if not the best in the EPL, I think also contender for one of the best in Europe as well. Considering the amount of goals that they were able to shut out last season. So it's premature to say it's all the Raya. Yes, I mean those are big chances to get this match that the Raya stopped, but. I can't really bring it down to just the Raya. He's a very, very important element, don't get me wrong. And I think if you take him out and you say he equates to a Chelsea team, then that is just saying that Sanchez is actually the problem with Chelsea. which makes it very easy to fix.
Sanchez is a problem.
No, see.
Oh, whatever. I'm sorry. See, at the moment,
Sanchez is
Chelsea at the moment have 7 registered goalkeepers, and all of them combined cannot guarantee that Chelsea will have good season. They have 7 registered goalkeepers as we speak. Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Salawali from Sabria.
You're welcome, Salawali.
Let me just remind you. You know, last season there was a time that even striker this guy Raya hardly saved any shot. Do you remember when that last season when we started like last season, like 6-7 games before Arsenal started conceding? Raya hardly saved any shot. Shot did not even get to him.
Of course.
So taking Raya out, I don't think we have hit Arsenal at all. That back four, they don't play.
As in, it's crazy. So, guys, let's move away from the Premier League. I'm sure that before Friday, when Arsenal would have the curtain raiser, at the third time in the last 5 seasons that they were playing the opening game of the season on a Friday. The last two have been against Crystal Palace. And I'm sure we'll focus on that much more. But let's talk about the African Cup of Nations. Cameroon's journey to the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations title is one of the most remarkable stories in the history of the competition. The indomitable Lioness did not originally qualify for the tournament, only to receive a second chance after CAF expanded the competition from 12 to 16 teams. A month later, that second chance ended with Cameroon lifting the first ever Women African Cup of Nations trophy. A CAF decision to expand the tournament gave Cameroon a route back into the competition after they missed out through the original qualification process. Their return was based on the FIFA rankings alongside Ivory Coast, Mali, and Egypt. What followed was a remarkable transformation from an unexpected late entrant into African football conversation and up the way down to African champions. Cameroon's failure to qualify had initially threatened to keep one of Africa's most experienced Women African Cup of Nations competitors out of the tournament. The Lioness had also missed the 2024 WAFCON. Making their return to the continental stage in Morocco particularly significant. CAF expansion of the tournament to 16 teams opened the door for Cameroon, who were reinstated based on their position in the FIFA ranking. It was an opportunity for the Lioness, and they seized it spectacularly. Rather than simply making up the numbers, Cameroon arrived in Morocco with the ambition of correcting one of the biggest shortcomings in their history, their failure to qualify despite repeated coming close. Cameroon had previously reached the final 3 times, in 1998, 2014, and 2016, and they lost on each of the 3 occasions. Well, according to their route, they started the group game good enough against Ghana, Mali, and debutant Cape Verde. The Lioness immediately established themselves as serious contenders. They opened their campaign with a 1-0 victory over the Black Queens of Ghana before defeating Mali 2-1. Those results ensured Cameroon had already secured top spot before their final game against Cape Verde. The quarterfinals changed everything. The Cameroon group stage campaign established their credentials in quarterfinals against Africa's most successful women football side. Nigeria announced them as title contenders. Waiting for them was the defending champions and Africa's most successful women footballing nation. Nigeria won the WAFCON 10 times and had historically dominated Cameroon in all of the competitions, winning them 4 times of the 6 finals and quarterfinal stages that they've met in the AFCON. The odds were in favor of the Super Falcons, but they knocked us out. Going forward, they also survived Morocco in the penalties in the semi-final, and they played against another debutant, Malawi, in the final. Standing between Cameroon and their first WAFCON title were Malawi, another of the tournament's greatest surprise stories. The Scorchers were making their debut at the competition and also proceeded in making it to the finals. Cameroon wasted little time in taking control. Maria Nga opened the scoring before Naomi Ndoja had to double the advantage. Nga then struck again in the first half stoppage time to complete our brace and give Cameroon a commanding 3-0 lead on the break. Malawi could not produce any comeback recorded in the second half. Cameroon held on to complete a 3-0 victory and finally lift the trophy that had eluded them for decades. The redemption of the indomitable Lioness. The significance of Cameroon's triumph goes beyond this final scoreline. How massive let's start from the tournament itself. There were a lot of expectations, back-to-back finals for Morocco. They thought they were going to make it through, especially with the shocking exit of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And then Morocco got stuck at the point that mattered the most. The Cameroonian goalkeeper saved 4 penalties in that particular game. In fact, she was voted as the goalkeeper of the tournament, and she should probably be the player of the tournament, actually. But then, talk to us about the WAFCON generally. The first time that we're having 16 teams participate, but it was Cameroon against all odds. Came in as a late entrant. They didn't qualify automatically, and then they wanted to win it.
Yeah, the expansion actually gave them the opportunity to win it because they didn't automatically qualify. Then CAF decided to expand it to 16 teams. They were called on based on their ranking on the FIFA. I think alongside Egypt and Mali. Yeah, they came in and they showed that they are determined. They want to correct the mistakes. And one of the things that actually worked for them was they play a cohesive type of football, and their manager is the first one that actually handled the Cameroonian female team. Yeah, she's actually the first to do so. Maybe it's like it kind of give them a second.
And we saw a different side to ᴤᴏ Eto'o. Remember the AFCON when Cameroon lost to Morocco. You know, where he decided he was very livid, and he had some very, really bad reactions and was eventually fined for that.
So we saw the Cameroonians, but again we saw them differently when they play against the Super Falcons. We saw the goalkeeping department, most especially. She was outstanding. Like
7 saves in that game alone.
He said like she's supposed to be player of the tournament, and I second that. Actually,
I agree with that.
Is supposed to be player of the tournament. She was really outstanding, and moving on, she became more confident. Like especially towards the quarters, semis, and in the final. They haven't scored a goal in the final previously. In their previous 3 finals they played, they were defeated by Nigeria 5-0, 2-0 and 1-0 in 3 different finals. They never scored a goal. Yesterday they scored 3 in the first half to actually get to seal the trophy. The competition entirely, when the Super Falcons dropped out of the competition, I get maybe there's this sense of feeling like sensation from the Moroccan fans and the Moroccan ladies that okay, this is actually our chance. They didn't even get to play in the final. They get to play in the 3rd place, and again,
and they still lost the 3rd place to
Algeria. So it is what it is, but a beautiful tournament.
All right, guys. There's some of the small things that we do here. People always feel like, oh, you guys are just ranting, you guys are just doing that. There is no NFF Congress next month.
Sharp.
The National Sport Commission has cancelled the NFF Electoral Congress, which was scheduled to hold on the 17th of September 2026. Yes, on the 27th of September, rather, in Lafia, Nasarawa State, to pave way for a thorough reorganization of the federation. This move was severally jolted. Apologies. Let me take a flash break. The National Sports Commission has reportedly cancelled the Nigerian Football Federation Electoral Congress scheduled for 27th of September in Lafia, Nasarawa State, paving the way for a major leadership overhaul and structural reorganization of Nigerian football. According to several reports, the intervention has halted the re-election bid of NFF President Ibrahim Gusau and his executive committee, whose 4-year tenure had come under increasing scrutiny amid growing concerns over the performance of the Nigerian national teams. The NSC is reportedly planning to appoint a 3-month normalization committee to oversee the affairs of the NFF, while a broader restructuring of the federation would take place. The decision allowed mounting calls for football stakeholders for change in the administration of Nigerian football following the series of disappointing results from the country's national team. The Super Eagles failed to qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup and intensified pressure on the NFF leadership. The situation was further compounded by the Super Falcons' failure to qualify and secure an automatic qualification for the World Cup for the first time in 38 years. The proposed intervention is expected to require close coordination with FIFA and CAF, given FIFA's long-standing position against government interference in the administration of football in their local chapters. We're going to focus more on this conversation tomorrow. But Tommy, in 30 seconds, How happy are you about this decision?
I'm very disappointed because it feels like we are having a situation whereby the NSC doesn't want us to have a proper election for the Nigerian Football Federation. That's what it
so
feels like.
You will have preferred that the Congress should go on, where the 36 state chairman will literally just rubber stamp the relation for Gᴏᴜ. And despite where we are as a nation,
the honest truth is the fact that something could have also happened.
Like what?
I mean, we could have had the what is it called? 36 FA chairman deciding that enough was enough.
So it's going on opposed. I'm sure you get your facts right.
It's not going on.
Who are the people that will have contested against you?
There's
this
guy now, David Duarte now.
Which David Duarte is that? Where is Duarte coming from?
This is his thought. This is his thought.
So you think Duarte was going to beat Ibrahim Gᴏᴜ in this election? Come on, field, my friend. Come on, field. Let's be sincere here. Come on, field.
The NSC deciding to postpone or even overrule what's it called, General Assembly. It's just a way of extending the tenure of Ibrahim Gᴜᴜ.
What do you mean extending? He's not going to be in charge. There's a normalization committee that Gᴜᴜ is going to be involved. What are you saying, man?
It's going to be involved, exactly.
He's not going to be involved. Gᴜᴜ is not going to be involved. His tenure will end on the 6th of September. And he ceases to be NFF chairman. What are you saying?
Let's see how it pans out.
Ayok, I mean, I don't know. Maybe you agree with Agbatoni on this one real quick.
No. We need that normalization committee. And we need Gᴜᴜ to take a back seat first.
Let's see how it pans out. Because it is the same people that are responsible for all of these things that will still end up being in charge or be a part of that normalization committee.
Okay, guys, we have to go. There is a Legacy Lounge tonight. There's also a repeat broadcast featuring the son of the legendary Ike Darrow, Popley Darrow's, throwback. And let's enjoy this one. This program returns tomorrow. We're going to start fully on the decision of the NSC to suspend, the election and also set up a normalization committee to look into the reorganization and structure of how football is being managed in Nigeria. Join us tomorrow. Big shout out to Ayok and Agbatoni for coming through as usual. I will step aside for Legacy Lounge.